Many people struggle and waste their money on TikTok ad before ever turning in to learn how it works. Again, most trainings out there on TikTok ad don't go in depth to let people know how to run TikTok ads successfully without issues. By the way, TikTok ad in Nigeria and in most African countries is still new. And from time to time, TikTok is updating their policy, making some of the things you already know yesterday to be invalid today. So there is need for one to always update himself on TikTok ad if you must be successful with your ad and not waste your money and not also face restrictions. Okay, so in this video I want to show you top 10 tips, okay, for successful ad on TikTok. What are proven irrespective of policy updates. These things have remained consistent with TikTok ad. But before I go into let you into these 10 tips, I first of all want you to understand that the idea of ad is not to force something that people don't need to start selling. If something cannot sell, ad will never make it to sell. Let's take for instance typewriter. There's no amount of ad that you run that will make a typewriter that people don't need today to start selling. Okay, so what ad does is to help what is selling to sell more and faster. So if you decide to run ad on anything without caring whether this thing is in demand or not, you might get all the visibility and yet not have any sales. Okay, so some persons say, oh, I put enough money here and I did my ad, it when many people saw it, but they never bought or they never asked for the price. Okay, now, it's not about them buying or asking for the price. There are a whole lot that make up a successful ad. It is not only locating the promote button and then loading coin, okay, and then setting the ad to run. No, there are a lot of factors, and I'll capture most of them in the top 10 tips I'm giving you in this video. By the way, I'm Onyi Nnebedum and I'm happy to be meeting you again. If this is the first time we are meeting, you are most highly welcome. This is Profit Leverage. Here I share tips, tools, and trends that will help you as an author, creator, and a marketer. So do well to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified the moment I upload the next video. Okay, so let's get into this. I started with TikTok ad the week or the month it came into Nigeria last year, 2024. And I have had amazing success that I had to go ahead to create the TikTok ad mastery training, the most detailed and comprehensive training you'll find on the internet on TikTok ad. I'm not boasting to say that. I have my students, over 90 of them have bought TikTok ad trainings from other people before meeting me. And why did they come to me? Because they were still looking for something better that will work for them before our paths crossed. Okay, so I'm not saying this so that you go get my course. Of course, I'm going to give you things here that you will not get anywhere for free, but I'm going to give you for free. Of course, some part of it will be for my student. So if you are my student, some of these we'll discuss more when we get into the class. Okay, so make sure you check the course area for updates on some of the things I'll be pointing out. All right, so I've had success on TikTok ad, and I can tell you it's amazing. But you see, the success I've had on TikTok ad didn't just happen. I struggled at a point, even after buying trainings on TikTok ad. Yes, I did. I bought a number of trainings on how to run TikTok ad. You might have heard me say in one or two of my videos that I had to invest in other TikTok ad trainings. I did that not because I didn't know how to run TikTok ad, but I wanted to get more results, one. Secondly, I wanted to know what those people know that I don't know yet. Of course, there were so much they didn't cover, but that inspired me to go further to make my own research, okay? Before I was able to come up with the ad mastery training, TikTok ad mastery training. You see, the success I've had on TikTok ad or with TikTok ad is not because I'm smarter than you. It's a simple thing that every one of us can learn if we choose to, okay? So I was talking about the fact that TikTok ad, and of course any other ad, can give you the visibility you paid for. But that doesn't determine you making sales or having positive conversions. By positive conversions, I mean conversions that lead to sales if you want to sell. By the way, there are two aspects to TikTok ad. There is the aspect of growing your account, but there is the aspect of getting leads or getting sales, okay? So the one I'm measuring more on is the one that has to do with getting leads or making sales, okay? So TikTok ad can make your product to be seen, but it will not make it to sell. There are factors you must consider if your product must sell. But let's look at the 10 top tips for a successful TikTok ad in Nigeria and in Africa. If you miss the last two, it's as though you didn't see this video. So ensure that you watch this video till the end. By the way, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, go ahead now and hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and let's dive in. 10 top tips for a successful TikTok ad in Nigeria and in Africa. Number 1, I noted here, make sure that you are using the business account, not personal account. TikTok has 2 types of accounts, okay, with regards to their app, right? So you can be using the personal account or the business account. If you use personal account, you have a lot of limitations, okay? My students, you already know some of those things, but I will be updating you more on this point, okay? Now, one of the limitations you will have if you are using the business account is with people getting in touch with you at the end of the day. Many people might be seeing your ad, but you wonder why they are not getting to your DM. One of the reasons is the account type you are using. So note number 1 of the 10 top tips for a successful TikTok ad is use business TikTok account. Number 2, use a lead form to run your ad and keep it simple. Now, by lead form, I'm not talking about the lead form you find when you want to run ad. When you are about uploading your video or posting your video, you can add a lead form, a lead button to it, okay? I'll show you. For those of you, my students, I'll detail you more on that. But on my TikTok page, okay, that's triple L, right? You'll find a video I dropped there on how to create these forms. You don't need to be running ad to have a lead form on your video, okay? So use, number 2, I said use a lead form for your ad and keep it simple. You can even dualize your call to action button. But so far, I've seen that lead buttons work better, especially if other components of your ads are in order, okay? Point number 3, if you want to get sales, first of all, educate your audience. Don't begin to advertise what you want to sell. Give time to educate your audience. Now, that way, you are seen as an authority even without further evidence, okay? It's something I've proven because I've had people reach out to me from even YouTube without any further evidence, just because I shared with them the things I know, like I'm sharing with you now, tips that you are not aware of, but I'm opening your eyes, I'm educating you. At the end of the day, you will see that this guy knows what he's talking about, because most of those evidences that people present are fake. Sorry to say, most, I'm not saying all, but most, okay? So you hardly see me sample some of those evidences. Not that I don't have them, but most times they are telling a lie, okay? So it's important that you educate the people. When you educate someone, the person will see that, oh, this person is an authority, okay? So it helps you to cover up the area you don't even have evidence. If you have evidence, you can add, but it's needless, okay? If you can educate people well on the subject of that product you are marketing. In fact, sometimes you can finish educating them without mentioning any product, and they will be the one to begin to ask you if you have any product around this. I give you an instance. Some months ago, I was on a radio program, and I was talking about cushioning the effect of inflation on your personal finances. I did that for about 8 weeks on the program. It was a program that held every Saturday, 1 to 2 p.m. So a 1-hour calling program. So I did that for about 8 weeks. By the 3rd week, a lot of calls have started coming asking if I have a book on this. Guess what? I said yes, but that is on pre-order. And so I got orders before I got to print the book. I never told them there was anything. They were the one asking if there was a book. What happened? I had to educate them, right? And then they were now asking that they needed a product because they knew there was more. Okay? Just like what I'm sharing with you, there is more. If I'm telling you these ones for free, imagine what I'm not sharing with you that you have to pay for. Number 4, always ensure that you remove audience below 18 years anytime you want to run ad, especially if it's a get lead or get sales ad. Okay? This is a rule on TikTok in many regions. So always ensure that you remove audience below 18 years of age, especially if your ad is to get lead or to get sales. Number 5, keep your ad videos or ad creatives brief. Okay? Very short. Let it not be too long. As a matter of fact, what TikTok recommends is a minimum of 5 seconds and a maximum of 60 seconds. That's what TikTok recommends. And they did further say for the 60 seconds that it's even recommended that it is 10 seconds shorter. Okay? Point number 6, and this is very important. First, ensure that your video is eligible for the FYP before you start running ad with it. Don't post a video and you start running ad with it. And even with your old videos that you want to use to run ad, if they qualify for ad, okay, make sure that you go check if it is eligible for the FYP before using it for ad. If not, you will struggle and suffer with that ad if at all it gets approved. Okay, that's point number 6. Point number 7, by the way, note that these points are not in any particular order, okay? Because if it were, maybe number 7 should have been number 1. What is point number 7? Make sure that you optimize your profile, your page, your videos before you start running ad. In fact, before your first ad, ensure that your profile, your video, your page, everything about your account is optimized. By optimizing your account, I mean your profile picture, your profile name, all the links, okay? By the way, for some of you that say, oh, I don't have any space to put my link on my bio because I have not gotten to 1,000 followers, okay? That's why I told you earlier to use a lead form. One of the benefits is that even if your account have 0 followers, you can still use a lead form, okay? So point number 7, optimize your profile, your page, and all your videos before you start running ad. So if you are my student, I think I'll tell you more on this in the class, okay? So I'll tell you more on that because there are a lot of things that are no longer the way they used to be. So we need to upgrade or update ourselves on that. Point number 8, if selecting a particular interest option is not giving you the needed result, then revert to all interest option. If you're my student, you already know I told you how to see the sub-interest under each interest option that TikTok gives you when you want to run ad, okay? So that's what I'm talking about. So if a particular one is not yielding result, use all until you begin to see the results that you want. Point number 9, do not tweak or adjust any settings of an ad that is already performing. The only thing you can do is to create a copy and work with the copy to do any adjustment you want to do. The reason being that you might not know what is making that ad to work. So if you adjust any setting, you might lose the success you're already seeing, okay? So create another copy, work with that new copy to try to improve the result you are getting and keep the original setting that is already working intact so that if this new one isn't yielding result, you still fall back to the original one that is already giving you the result, okay? Point number 10, and the final one for now, is never adjust your landing page once your ad is up and running. This can lead to a ban or restriction on your account. So if you are sending people to a website and your ad is already running, don't go to the website and begin to make some adjustments. TikTok will dictate, and once they dictate, they could ban your account or suspend your ad, okay? You don't want any of these, then do not adjust anything on your landing page once your ad is up and running. For you to adjust anything, go and stop that ad or end it, and then go and adjust whatever you want to adjust, and then initiate a new ad so that whatever they would have approved, they would have gone to the landing page, have seen the adjustment you've made before approving your ad video, okay? So these are my 10 top tips for a successful TikTok ad in Nigeria and in the whole of Africa. If you're interested in joining my TikTok ad mastery class, this is your best opportunity. Find the link in the description of this video and I will see you in class. By the way, if you are struggling to pay for TikTok ad or you are still wasting money buying coin before paying for ad, you need to go see this video now.